Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Fremantle vs Brisbane game in which Luke Jackson absolutely dominated and how he's actually now a trade-in target given his run home. I mean, it's just flipped on its head. That run in and Jackson looks like a really good option now. So I'm personally waiting for Bailey Williams to see if this suspension, which is a little bit dubious in my opinion, if it holds up, I guess. It's a weird one, that one. I can understand why they did it, but I can also understand why he should honestly get off. But I think going by the rubric, he probably still gets suspended, annoyingly. But, I mean, it's not annoyingly for me because it don't support West Coast, and Jackson will be a good in if they're playing Jack Williams in the ruck. But, yeah, anyway, before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So, as you can see here, Jackson 149, 43, 50, 31, 25, just a really good output, and really showed that around the ground he can beat up, I guess, the ruck of Fort, I think it was, because McInerney wasn't playing, and Fort isn't really the best around the ground. And yeah, even so, I think he got like 30 hit-outs, I want to say. If we go to Jackson, here, he ended up with 44 hit-outs anyway, and I think he can do that quite easily against Jack Williams. I mean, I should probably check Jack Williams' height because I don't believe he is the tallest ruckman anyway. AFL, let's just see what his height is. 198, and then Luke Jackson, I believe, is around 202. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. Luke Jackson is 2 meters, so he's already got a 2 centimeter advantage on Jack Williams, which is a lot at this point, at that stage. And I guess you could say, and also Jack Williams only has about 10 or something hit-outs anyway across the season, and there's no other ruckman for West Coast to put in, so it would just be him and a couple of backup ruckmen, I'm guessing, or like forwards, etc. But yeah, Jackson 149 was absolutely huge. Sarong 125, he did his job, especially in the second half of a 77. So we'll wait and see. I think Sarong is a huge. Why am I saying wait and see? He just had a huge output. 35, 42, 77 in the second half. And just a huge game from him. I was really annoyed because it seemed like him and Brayshaw was basically going to go evens, but he came alive in the last quarter basically and set that to bed that he was going to outscore Brayshaw. Young put on a tagging role on Neil. Didn't really necessarily work, but 30, 30, 28, 31 was really good, and you could almost consider him an option as a defender, but I just don't like the inconsistency with his role. And if you look at Young here, you look at his splits, he's gone 108, 73, 83, 119. I think he's one for next year if they try and, he does have West Coast, which will be interesting, but then he does have Port and Hawthorn, so it could be interesting if you want him off that as that backline guy, but I don't think I'll necessarily want that. Brayshaw 106, just consistent again, getting 100 score. Would like to see him push up, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. Henry 87, Swiskowski, Liam Ryan 76, so a guy that I thought I was going to pick up at the end of this round, just didn't do anything. Him and Sheasel were odds on to be the guy that I pick up, and they basically gone and not scored, so I don't think I want them. Erasmus, I think, is definitely a guy for next year, but I mean, he is starting to get priced out, and he's starting to rack up the games as well, so I don't think he's going to get, he isn't going to get a discount anymore. And 57, that's starting to get to the point where it's like, do we actually want him? As that's only probably 20 points unders from what I can see him doing, so we will need to see him subbed out in a couple games, hopefully, just to get that average down to 50, to make it more of an actual grab at that price. Clark 67, O'Meara 67, Frederick 66, Schultz, Wagner Wagner again scoring well, but I mean he's a defender, so I don't think he'll be of use anytime soon. Why did I say that? He's 74. I think that's just well inflated for anything this year. Well, next year, and I just don't see him being of any value, to be honest. Tracy, Aish, Sturt, Walters, Amos, no one else here really to talk about. Matt Johnson just dropping in price. Just don't really see there being much value in him when the sub rule is there. Berry 113, Zorko. Then you have Neil here. Really good game from him. 104. Just started really slowly, but picked it up in the second. And then in the fourth to come out with a 38 really just boosted him up, as he was on, I think, 66 or something like that. And it all came in the middle part of this quarter in the 10 to 25 range, where he really stacked it on. McCarthy, Rayner, McCluggage, Cameron, Dunkley just didn't do anything. I think he had something like 9 tackles and 4 marks, but only like 14 disposals or something like that, 15 disposals. Yeah, it just wasn't like the Dunkley that we know, was around 10 disposals down, and that's where you get those 20 to 25 points with 10 disposals down. And that's why he wasn't at a 106 or something like that. Leicester, Fort, Hipwoods, Andrews, Bailey, Archie, Danaher, Gunston. None of these guys will really matter too much, and there's not really any value going into next year that I see. Maybe you could say Jasper Fletcher has some value. If we look at Fletcher here, he is priced at 54, 8 games, so that would get him around about that, I believe, 50 marker, as he would be 0.94 times 54.4, 51 times by 8851, as that was the magic number. That would price him at 452, and that's around about the price. You'd have to have him scoring about 80 or so, or averaging 80 next year to be of value, and I think we need a little bit lower from him. So hopefully if he gets another couple of games, he can decrease that average down towards that 50, 45 sort of range, as that would be necessary for him, basically. And then you got Robertson, 14, just came on, did nothing much. And that is basically the video, and a very short video, as just there wasn't much to talk about, to be honest. But yeah, just a Fremantle Brisbane game in which Brisbane limped over the line, basically winning by 3 points in the end. And Luke Jackson, Sarong, Young, Brayshaw, and Neil and Dunkley are the only ones to really think about in this game. But other than that, yeah, that's the video there, and I'll see you guys in my team review for round 21 that'll come out on Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.